everyone, welcome back to ErikaBuilds and another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are back in the new world of Glimmerbrook once again, but this time I'm building a house that actually I've had the photo saved for a very long time, just waiting for the perfect lot to be able to build this house. So I was really excited to see that in the new world there were all these beautiful mountains and trees, and it, like I said in my last video, it reminds me a lot of Granite Falls, and that is exactly the type of world that I needed to build this house. So I will warn you right now, it is not for a spellcaster. This is in Glimmerbrook, but I guess it's a muggle house because there are non-magical people living here. But yeah, so this lot has a house on it. The name is Rock Ridge Canyon. It's a 40 by 30. And I've demolished the house that was here in order to build this one. And another reason why I hadn't built this house yet was because I knew that I needed the stairs I needed the stairs to be able to do two things. I needed to be able to do a switchback on the front entrance, and then I needed to be able to do some tight turns on the inside, the interior stairs. And so that was another reason why I hadn't built this house before. But here I'm going to show you a couple of reference photos. These are the pictures that I found. It's probably been at least a year ago that I found these online, and I've just been hanging on to them ever since, hoping that I would find the right kind of lot and be able to actually build this house in The Sims. So I was really excited to get started on this. And if you watched my last video, you probably know that I was really kind of stressed out and a little bit disheartened about my last build because I just felt like that it wasn't going well. And yeah, so I really just wanted to build something that would be just something for myself, something that would make me happy and cheer me up. So anyway, this house is located in Portland, Oregon, which I love the Pacific Northwest. It's one of my favorite places. It's so beautiful. The trees, it's like pictures cannot even describe how amazing the trees are in person. They're so tall and so large and so majestic and so beautiful. I cannot imagine any other place in the world has trees as gorgeous. They're just, I can't even describe how beautiful the trees are. And so this house definitely has like what I would consider a mountain home or like an upscale cabin sort of feel to it. There's a lot of brown and a lot of wood. Unfortunately, in the game, we do not have cedar shingles. We have some shaker shingles in the cats and dogs pack. And then we have some also, I believe it's in Get Famous, but neither of them are really like the rustic sort of cedar type shingle that I really needed. So that was just one thing that I had to kind of improvise on. Well, I had to improvise on a few things. You might have noticed when I was trying to do the columns, I was having that glitch where the columns are too tall. And I hadn't really been building a lot last week, so I had seen somebody mention it on Twitter, but I hadn't really experienced it myself. So I ended up having to go to Google and ask, like, how do I fix this? And so if you're having that problem, what you do is you go ahead and you put the columns on and just let them poke through the roof. And then you just adjust the ceiling height up and then back down, and then they will snap back down. It's a pain for sure, and it's super annoying because every time I moved a column or placed a new column, I had to do it all over again. You'll see here as I'm trying to put these columns down. It's just, I really hope that the gurus can get that fixed soon because it's just not good. Yeah, so the front is starting to come together now. You can see that this house is a mixture of stone, and then there's some vertical siding, and then those shingles on the top. And for the driveway, you know, with the sloped yard, I had to draw, you know, with paint the driveway because of the slope. And then here I'm starting to work a little bit on that double staircase. It's like a winding staircase that's all glass in the front. You'll see it more when we get inside, but that's another cool feature of this home. This home actually has a lot of really cool features about it. The only negative thing is that I did find a picture of the back of the house, but it is completely flat. There's nothing. It's just looks like somebody just sheared it off. And so I didn't know what I was gonna do with the back. I ended up adding a couple of balconies and a porch and some things, but really the back is pretty lackluster. So that's probably the only complaint I would have about this particular house. But anyway, the front is really cool, and that's definitely what caught my eye when I was looking on Google for pictures. And you can see I raised the terrain up kind of around this first floor. Now remember, this is not a basement. This is actually the first floor of the home that just has the terrain raised up around it. And the reason you have to do that is because if you make a basement, you will not be able to add windows or doors. And so the only way you can do it is you have to make the basement the first floor and then raise the terrain and use like shrubs and bushes and things to sort of hide the gap. Because when you raise terrain around a building, there's like a valley between the edge of the building and the edge of the dirt. And so I actually cut that out of this video was so long, you guys. It was so long. I think I worked on this house from like 10 a.m. yesterday until like midnight last night. I had so much footage, like hours and hours and hours. And actually 2 times I like stopped to go eat and I forgot to turn off the camera. So I had hours of footage of just blank, like nothing happening. It was such a mess. It took me forever to edit this video. But yeah, so anyway, I did leave in just a tiny bit of the landscaping work, but I really pretty much cut all of it out. So the house has 3 levels. The ground floor, first floor, which is where those kind of fake garages are. And then the main entrance is actually on the 2nd floor. And then there's also a 3rd level, so 3 levels total. When you come up that switchback stair up to the front door, you will immediately enter the main living room. And so this staircase, you can see me working on it now. I love these new stairs. It's the best thing we've gotten in The Sims for so long. I can't even remember. Probably since like Cats and Dogs, or maybe Seasons. I don't know. Like this is really great, especially for builders. So as you can see, I was able to do this sort of like winding staircase, which turned out so cute. The only bad thing is, you can see here, I was trying to make an overlook with like railing. How do you do that? Someone out there help me because I can never get that to work, because every time you replace even a tiny segment of wall with either railing or low like half walls, all the roofing comes out into the room. Like, is there a workaround for that? Somebody help me. That's like the number one thing that I want to learn how to do, if there's a way to do it. I feel like there's got to be a way to do it, and I just don't know how. But yeah, so what I ended up doing on that 2nd floor, since I couldn't do the railing, I just used windows. But I really don't like it because it kind of looks more modern when really it should be rust. Really, that should be a railing that looks over the staircase all the way down to the 1st floor. and I don't know how to make it work. So I don't know. If you're out there and you know how to do it, please leave it in the comments. I will love you forever. I'll be so happy. But anyway, you can see me working here on this main level, the second floor, which is where the living room, dining room, and kitchen are. And then upstairs, there are bedrooms and bathrooms. And then downstairs on the first level is like a family room, game room with a bar and a fitness room and a laundry room, and then like a teen suite. So yeah, it's a big house. Even though it only has 4 bedrooms, it's because the bedrooms are really gigantic, and because I really wanted this house to have a lot of like family fun. I don't know why. I was just picturing this family as like, well, first of all, when I did the bedrooms, I did 1 teen, 1 child, and 1 toddler. And so I was picturing this family as being really like playful, and I put a lot of games. Like they have the Don't Wake the Llama game, they have darts, they have chess. I don't know. I was trying to think of like all the different like games that I could put in, and it's just very homey and very cozy. And the family just, to me, feels like the type that maybe they live, you know, out in this remote area in the woods. And so they kind of have to make their own fun, you know? And so that's kind of what I was thinking about as I was building this house. But here, as I'm talking right over the top of the kitchen, I started working in this kitchen and dining room first. And basically, I just wanted it to be very warm, and I used a lot of browns with some red accent colors, and I really wanted it to be matching the feel on the outside of the house. So with it being sort of this rustic mountain home, I wanted the kitchen to feel the same as well. And I also wanted it to have a very family friendly, you know, sort of vibe to it. And so I feel like this kitchen's very colorful and fun. This combination of parenthood, cabinets, and appliances mixed with the jungle adventure tile is definitely something that I do pretty much in all my rustic country homes. It's that rug is from Laundry Day, and all 3 of those packs are very homey, cozy type of packs. And then for the adjoining dining room, I did a combination of jungle adventure with cats and dogs, and then I was able to use the new wallpaper that we got with Realm of Magic, which has a really nice floral pattern with wainscoting that I thought looked really nice with this type of house. And green was the main accent color in this room. And so yeah, it has a nice big dining room, which I like, that's right next to the kitchen. And this whole level is really just all the living space. So here, I did a big fireplace with matching bookshelves to kind of give it that look of a big wall unit. When I think of big rustic mountain homes, I think of lots of built-ins, lots of wood. Boy, it would be so cool if we could do like beams on the ceiling, like exposed beams. This would have been the perfect house for something like that. For the furniture in here, I actually just went with a base game set. I really like this set for rustic builds. The wood and these sort of mission style tables, I just think they're very cozy and warm and inviting. So I chose that for this main living room. And there's also, like I said before, there's some games in here for the family, the chess game and the Don't Wake the Llama game. And then just adjoining this living room area, there's also an office and a bathroom. So really this main level has pretty much everything the family would need, you know, all on one level. The colors in here are lots of brown, light mixtures of light brown and dark brown. I really love the way the Seasons windows and doors look with this flooring from Outdoor Retreat. So it's very, sort of this rough cut wooden boards that I love. And then for the entry, I didn't have a ton of space for the entry because of this big staircase. So I just made sort of like a little small entry area. There's a bench and some backpacks and a mirror. And over here in this little bay window is where I put the chess set. For the curtains in the house, I did these puppeteer curtains just because I thought about doing the plaid ones from Cats and Dogs, but I really didn't want this house to be country. Like, to me, there's sort of a difference between the look of like houses out west and houses down south. So when I think of southern homes, and I've built a lot of those here on the channel, Cats and Dogs is definitely a go-to, especially when it comes to curtains. But when I'm thinking about homes out west, like you might have seen, I did a big mountain home that was in Colorado. And I've done some other like Pacific Northwest inspired homes. And to me, those are sort of a different type of country, more of like a rustic, but a little bit more upscale. For the windows, I tried those cabin slats at first, but they were just a little bit too long, and it was covering up all the view out the back. And so I took those out and just matched them to those same puppeteer curtains that I used in the front. So then I went back in the kitchen to do the clutter. And, this house is very homey, like I said, lots of kids and pets and stuff. And so I wanted the kitchen to be fairly cluttered. I imagine that the parents are probably good cooks. So they had a lot of sort of, I don't know what you would call it, just like clutter that looks like somebody does a lot of cooking. I've got these sort of jars of peppers, and I used the spices in several places. And I don't know, I just feel like that looks very warm and family friendly to have all of this kitchen clutter. And since I couldn't use any cabinets on this side of the kitchen, because of all the windows, I just used some shelves. So I did 3 shelves there over the dishwasher, and then I did another shelf just on the side with like some hanging utensils. So yeah, the colors in here, I'm still playing off a lot of the red in the decor to match the appliances. And also keeping in mind that, I don't want to fill up the counter space too much, because, the Sims have to be able to cook. If they can't find a place to set the bowl down, they'll go take it in the bathroom and mix their food. So I was trying to not clutter it up too much, but I think it has a pretty good amount. It definitely has a nice homey feel to it. For the lighting, I didn't adjust it. I just left it in the default setting, which has kind of a yellowish tone, but I think that matches the overall feel of the house. And for the exterior lighting on the home, I used some Seasons wall lights that are very yellowish in color. So I think it kind of matches with that as well. I've mentioned before in other videos that when I do contemporary homes, I always brighten the lights up to white, but when I do more rustic builds, I like to leave the yellowish color just because I think it kind of helps the house look even more warm and cozy. Here in the dining room, I'm just adding some more decor, and I made like a little buffet area over here by the table. I wasn't sure if it was gonna fit, but I think it does. That chair right in front of the buffet, it will pull out, so that worked. And like I said before, the accent color in here is green, and so I was just pulling out some things that would match with that. And then over here, just before you get to the office, there's just a little gaming area. with Don't Wake the Llama. And then there's like a little hallway table there right by the stairs. And then I did this other little table that I kind of thought would be a good place to store games. Like if we had board games in The Sims, I think they would keep them in this table. And there's a little fish bowl there too. So maybe the family has a pet fish. There are items for a dog in this house as well, but I did not put the dog food dish in the kitchen. Normally, I always put it in the kitchen, but instead I put it downstairs, and you'll see where here in just a little bit. So here on the main floor, as I'm just finishing it up, there is a bathroom. So I would consider this to be a guest bathroom, but it is a full bath. It has a shower. And I also put a toddler potty seat in here since this family has a toddler. And I decided to use this stone sink from Outdoor Retreat. I just thought that would be kind of fun. When I used to live in Colorado, you would very commonly see stone used for interiors in kitchens and bathrooms and fireplaces and living rooms. Lots and lots of stone and timber and cedar and things like that. So I was kind of thinking about that as I was decorating this house. And here's that office I was talking about. This would be good if you have a sim who has a freelance career and works from home. There's a nice computer desk in here and some bookshelves, and I also put an easel in here for a nice activity. And then there's also a balcony just right off of this office. So I thought it would be kind of cool that you could pull the easel outside onto the balcony from the office when you feel like painting outdoors. So I was kind of thinking about that. I didn't really put anything on the balcony in the front just because, I don't know, for the aesthetics of just like the screenshots. But I would definitely recommend putting maybe like a little bistro table out there or some more art stuff out there. I think that would be very cute. So there's just two sets of double doors here, one to the inside, one to the outside. Here's this bookshelf. I put some camera equipment up on the top. I thought maybe that would make for a nice hobby for this family. And that rug I love. I use it in a lot of rustic builds. It's from Get Famous. So this is going to finish up, I believe, the whole first floor. And I did have to cut out quite a bit of footage of doing the bottom floor just because for time's sake. As you can see, this video is already over 30 minutes long, and that's with lots and lots of editing. So I apologize for the length, but it is a big old house. So down here in this lower basement level, well, it's not really a basement, it's a first floor. I did like a family room, game room with a bar and a jukebox, and there's also a fitness room down here. Like I said before, I was thinking about this family being way up in the mountains somewhere far from town, and so I wanted to make sure they had plenty of stuff in their house. So it's kind of like they don't even need to leave home. They have everything that they could need right here in their own house. And most of the stuff in here is from the fitness stuff pack. The reason I chose it is because the equipment from Fitness Stuff has sort of like this faux wood finish, which I thought looked really nice with the house. Okay, here was a time jump. I had already done the laundry room and the family room off camera, and another bathroom and a storage room. So all of that got cut. I'm sorry, but it's just for time's sake. But if you download this house from the gallery, you can see all of the rooms see everything that I did. This house, along with all of my other homes, are always in the gallery. My ID is ErikaBuilds. So yeah, I love it when people go and download my houses. It makes me feel happy to think that somebody could, use something that I built to play. I've even had some people DM me and ask if I mind if they use my homes for like Let's Play videos and stuff on YouTube, and I do not mind that at all. I feel honored if anybody wants to do that. So yeah, this room that you're seeing now is the teen room, and since it's down here on the bottom floor by itself, I just thought, or it could be like a young adult who still lives at home. I just thought they had kind of this cool, like secluded area. And for this teen, I was sort of imagining that they like the outdoors. And so I went with a very rustic theme for this room. The bed and nightstands are both from Outdoor Retreat, and the lamps as well. And everything in here is very brown, very rustic, very warm. I gave this teen a guitar and a dog. So the dog stuff, like the bed and the food dish and the toys and everything, are here in the teen's room. Because I kind of imagined, even though they live at home, like this would be their dog. But you could even just make it a family dog too if you'd rather do that. And then I thought that little log bench at the foot of the bed was cute. That's also from Outdoor Retreat. And then for the picture over the bed, I went with that waterfall with the rainbow because it kind of reminded me of Glimmerbrook, the way it has that huge waterfall. So I thought maybe it was a picture of like where they live. And here you'll see I'm doing the little pet area for the doggy. So yeah, I think this bedroom turned out pretty cute. And it also has its own bathroom, which is nice. It's not a huge bathroom, but it's got everything, you know, that a teen would need. And I kept the colors pretty much the same in here as I did for the bedroom. So there's a lot of brown. It's very warm. A lot of the showers in this house are from Seasons, just because I think that really matches the theme well. And I'm always trying to be really careful. I don't know if you've noticed this about me, but I always try to be really careful about matching the hardware. So when I'm in a bathroom, especially a small bathroom like that, I want to make sure that the hardware on the sink, the knobs and faucet, and then the hardware for the shower faucet is all the same color. So I'll just add that in there as just a little tip, I guess. Somebody asked me on Instagram if I would do a video about tips, and I don't know if I'm the best person to do that. If you're looking for like tutorials, I would highly recommend checking out Kate Emerald. She does tons of tutorials over on her channel, and she's so nice. She was one of the first people who welcomed me into the Sims like community when I first started playing the game, and she's just a really super nice person. So yeah, if you're ever looking for tutorials, she is your go-to person for that. Now I'm up here on the 3rd floor, and you can see where I added those windows, and I'm still really sad that I couldn't figure out how to make that a railing. I hope somebody will teach me how to do that, because it would just look so much better to have the rails there instead of those windows. But anyway, yeah, so I was just decorating the hallway. It was a pretty big hallway, so I had to get pretty creative with bookshelves and tables and artwork and mirrors and plants and all that stuff to fill up that big hallway area. Okay, so this bedroom is the master bedroom, and I really like this master because it has this wall of windows overlooking the back. It's kind of an odd shape. It's kind of long and skinny, but it still worked as far as, you know, the furniture goes. There's plenty of room for the double bed with the 2 nightstands and the dresser. And then I had this little kind of cubby hole over here by the door where I decided to put a love seat. I really wanted to use the love seat from My First Pet stuff, but it was just not quite the right color. So I ended up using this one from Get Famous instead, which I think matched the bed from Seasons a little bit better. And then for the master bath, I stuck pretty much with the same colors, a lot of dark brown. And you see how that Seasons furniture, the chest of drawers and the nightstands have that kind of like black wrought iron floral pattern. So I was thinking about that in the bathroom. And so that's why I went with the black hardware on the tub and toilet and sink. I really like the sink because it's not very often that you see the dark brown wood mixed with the black hardware, but I think it actually looks really good. So yeah, I think this bathroom turned out cute. And that rug is from the new Realm of Magic pack, which I think is a really nice shade of brown that blends with the cabinets and the towels in that master. And the master has double doors that go out to a little balcony area. And so I did put a lounge chair and a little table out there in case one of the parents wants to sit outside in the sun. And then right next to the parents' bedroom is the toddler bedroom. And again, you know, I'm still thinking about sort of this outdoorsy. It's like I wanted it to be a toddler room, so I wanted it to be, you know, more typical like pastels, but I used a lot of green because I still wanted it to tie in with sort of this earthy, outdoorsy sort of feel. And this particular wallpaper with the kind of the shadow of like the tall grass, I think is really nice when you're doing like rustic or country type of houses. And then those yellow curtains are from Parenthood. So yeah, this toddler has pretty much all the things they would need, the building blocks and the toddler tablet and toys, and there's a toy box and stuff like that. It's a small bedroom, but it does have its own bathroom, which is nice. And I kept it very playful in here as well, going with this cute shower from Parenthood that has the elephants on it. And of course there's a potty seat in here, but there is a regular toilet too. So as the child ages up and you need to switch that bed out to like a kid's bed, you know, the bathroom will still work for a child as well. And then just down the hallway is the last bedroom. And this is the bedroom that's for just a regular aged kid. So we've got one teen, one kid, and one toddler. And so for this kid, again, I'm still thinking about the outdoors, but I decided to go with cats and dogs in here. Just because I like this particular color. I think the green ties in nicely with the toddler room and with the whole sort of outdoorsy theme, because the wallpaper has those leaves on it. And then I blended it in with a bunch of different cats and dogs type of decor. You can see I had to swipe the rugs, or swap the rugs with the toddler because I wanted to use the turtle in there, and then I put the frog rug in the other one. So anyway, lots of animals and outdoors, and yeah, pets and leaves. And I put a Boy Scout or Girl Scout or scouting, I should just say, a book in here because I imagine maybe they were a scout. And the colors, you know, are this kind of green and blue combo. And so I carried that on into the bathroom as well. So that's going to be about it for this build. I really hope you guys like this house. I had a lot of fun building it, and I think this is probably one of my favorite houses that I've built just personally. I just really love this theme. I wish I lived in a big house in the mountains. I'm just living vicariously through my Sims as usual. So don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with all my builds, and follow me on the gallery at ErikaBuilds, and on Twitter and Instagram as ErikaBuilds as well. So here are the screenshots, and I will see you all again next time. Bye-bye.